bless you all. I just wanted to say that to you. I just want you to know that I hope that you will find the truth about your own spiritual self. In times of chaos, it's so easy to start to feel lonely, to feel like you're losing your way, that you're going off track. Regardless, I just want to say to you, God bless you all, because of the sheer fact that in truth and reality, all of life is one. On a spiritual level, we share a unity that is so profound and so beautiful. We discover the fact of this unity by the simple realization that our consciousness is a power that we share together. And depending on how we use it, we either make sure that we grow towards a brighter future as a race, as a whole, and in a smaller scale with our friends and family, or we're gonna go downwards or backwards even into chaos and conflict. And the sad part is that humanity as a whole usually tends to pick this chaos and conflict over everything else, over the unity that actually exists. You see, the only difference between you and me is one of gender and one of results and physical appearances. But you see, sometimes people can actually look very similar to somebody else. So it's mostly in the mentality and the gender, or the results. But the results are the effect of the mentality that we have as an individual. So therefore, no matter if you're struggling, if you're sad, if you're lost, I still want to tell you that God, the universe, has your back. Even though you might not feel that. I've heard this a couple of times throughout my life, and I know there's many people like this who might still say this, and you might know them, or maybe you are one of them. They would say, I wish I could find Jesus, or I wish God would help me out. I've been praying and praying. I'm in a bad spot, but God never seems to answer. You know, this is because we're looking at a God that is outside of ourselves. And if a God like that would even exist, it would mean that we would be not in control of anything. We would be at the mercy of this God in particular. But even though your situation might be bad, if you can feel the power of God rise up from within you, well, then you can overcome it once and for all. Then you have the forces of the whole universe at your back. Is this really the truth? Yes, it is. Because all of life came from the same source, from one substance, as many books and religious texts and spiritual texts have talked about. This is a fact of life. Go into the past far enough, and you're going to have to admit, life apparently came out of nothing, out of nowhere. This whole universe came out of nowhere. Somehow, somewhere, it all started to take on form and shape. And it's from that part, from that beginning, that all of creation took on the shapes. And you are part of that creation. You're living inside of that creation right now as you're listening to this message. That means that you are one with the true substance of life. And that substance, that's what we would call God. And therefore, because you are one with it, it exists within you. It exists outside of you as well. You observe elements and creations and manifestations of this one substance, this God. But the beauty is it also exists inside of you. And once you lay hold of that, then you're going to find such peace, such serenity, such guidance out of all conflict in your own individual lives. And if you really push it far enough, if you expand far enough in this direction, you might come into the position of overcoming conflicts on a much greater scale. For other people, you could guide them into the truth and oneness and salvation of life. This is why I would say God bless you all. Because the more I contemplate this unity, the better I start to feel, and the more I feel like I have to keep talking about this, I have to keep sharing this with anyone that is willing to listen to my message. Because it is the greatest power that will give you so much hope once it all dawns upon you in your own life. That you're not lost. Maybe horrible things have happened to you, but you're not lost. God is always with you. This is a true statement, because you're always part of that same original substance out of which all of physical creation came, and out of which your spiritual self also originated, everything is part of that one original substance called God. Therefore, the power of this so-called God is available to you right this second, if only you open your heart to it. You have to look towards God, the real God, with the real and right awareness, so that you can lay hold upon this power and overcome all of your struggles and obstacles in life, and turn it into something absolutely incredible, because you too are beautiful, something amazing, something unique, something precious. And inside of you are all these dreams and hopes and ambitions and passions that want to come to the surface, because as you allow them to do so, the world will be better off, simply because you gave and shared the best aspects and version of yourself with all of creation. Isn't that beautiful? And isn't it sad that the majority of humanity doesn't even consider this? Because we're so caught up in the physicality of all of life that we don't realize these greater powers that are going on behind all of it. But yet these powers are real, and you and I are part of that same power. We can do absolutely great things together if we understand the unity that we share, that we no longer really have to fight each other. It wouldn't even come into our minds to do that, so we actually shouldn't even be doing it. But as long as it goes on, as long as this world is in conflict, as it's been for thousands of years, or maybe even longer in general, the only thing we can do is be the embodiment of that unity as we go through life, so we can become a light of brightness, of hope, of happiness, of peace and serenity for other people around us, so that we lift them up automatically because of our recognition of the unity of life within our very selves. This is absolutely incredible. I wish you the very best in life, and I know the universe is going to give you the very best, far beyond you could have ever imagined. And I hope you keep your heart open towards God, because that will bring you the true salvation.